Okay, I'm recording the lesson. All right, you guys. So we're going over. These ones right here are called paragraph proofs. Same thing as a two-column proof, but we write it in a paragraph form. So,
Will we be doing this on the finals?
On the test, yes.
Oh my god.
What? It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Test is going to be Thursday, Friday of next week.
Damn, more brain tumors.
That's not even the final. That's just this test. We have a final after that. All right. Okay, excuse me. A lot of other conversation happening. I'm trying to go over this. Okay, so for this one, page 79, we have given the diagram shown below, and that point C is the midpoint of AE. So this is basically right here. All this date here is the part of my given. Prove that this. So I have to end with this. All right, so from the diagram, we can see that blank is congruent to blank. From my diagram, what's congruent? Angle A is congruent to angle E. Very good. It was given that C is the midpoint of AE. C is the midpoint of AE. Of AE, right? So, blank by the definition of blank. Say it.
AC is congruent to EC.
Very good. Congruent to EC. By the definition of, what's my definition?
Bisect.
It's not bisect. Midpoint. We're using midpoint, aren't we? So it's by definition of midpoint. So by definition of midpoint, that's what we get. Finally, blank is congruent to blank because they are blank angles. Okay? From my shape, look carefully. Oh wait, let me mark this before I go too far. Okay, so from here, blank is congruent to blank because they are blank angles. Okay, something angles. This goes by my checklist. What do I need from that checklist? Has to do with the shapes.
Wait, the checklist?
Yep, two-column proof checklist. Same.
Vertical.
Vertical, very good. It is vertical angles, right? So that's your key. So it's telling me something angles. Right, Bryson? Please pay attention. All right, I have vertical angles here, right? So it's an X shape, so I have vertical angles. So I'm going to put vertical right here. Vertical angles. Now, what are going to be my vertical angles? ACB. So I'm going to double arc that. And ECD. Very good. So those are my vertical angles right there. Right here. So angle ACB is congruent to angle ECD. Because they are vertical angles, so blank is congruent to something. So right here. So blank is congruent to blank. Now, do I have enough information to say the triangles are congruent? No? Yes?
Yes.
I do. I have angle, side, angle now, don't I? So if I could state that, so let's go ahead. So triangle ACB is congruent to triangle E. So if it's ACB, yeah, ECD. ECD by what? Angle, side, angle. And blank is congruent, or I'm sorry, AB is congruent to ED by what means? Very good. Because we proved that the triangles are congruent already, afterwards that means all the corresponding parts are congruent. So after I prove the triangles are congruent, I can prove any corresponding parts are congruent after that. Okay, so I had a word bank for all this. So let's take a look at this other side. Now, on this other side, so I have a whole lot of given here, don't I?
Yep.
Given, angle H is congruent to angle J. Let's mark that, please. It is also given that G is the midpoint of HJ. G is the midpoint of HJ.
So they're both congruent to each other.
Okay, so we know that.
Angle, HG is.
Very good. HG is congruent to GJ, or JG, I'm sorry.
That sounds like a rapper name.
Yep. Alright, so I'm going to mark that. Okay, because FG is perpendicular to HJ. What does perpendicular mean?
Then it touches, right?
It touches, but in what way?
Makes a 90.
Very good. 90-degree angle, right? Perpendicular means 90-degree angle, so I'm going to have a 90-degree angle here and here. So both, says right here, both blank and blank are right angles. So what would I say for my first blank? H, G, F, right? Because it's angle G between H and F. So H, G, F. And angle JGF are right angles, so they are congruent to each other. Finally, blank is congruent to itself by the blank property.
FG is congruent to itself by
Very
the
good.
reflexive property.
FG, reflexive property. By the reflexive property, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that one also. Therefore, by the blank theorem, triangle, that should be a triangle there, is congruent to, and the blank theorem, triangle blank is congruent to
FG, J.
FG. So if I look, it's FGH, FGH is congruent to FGJ. So triangle FGJ. Now, right here, I cannot use this information right here. Right here I have angle, side, angle. I already said that they are congruent. Right angles are congruent, so I could use angle, side, angle. Or, since I have more than enough information here with the reflexive, I could also go side, angle, side, because I've already stated that the right angles are congruent. Right angles are congruent. So either answer for this one would be correct. So it would be angle, side, angle, or it's going to be side, angle, side. Either way. So I'm going to just put side, angle, side for this one, because I like side, angle, side. Sass. Yes. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at our practice for today. So our practice is page 78. So I'm going to let you guys do these ones. Now, also going along with that, let's take a look at yesterday's stuff. Yesterday, we had... Alright, so I'm going to end the video right here on this one. So I'm done with the instruction anyway.